pews at this Fleming Island church are filled. People praying for the safe return of a missing local priest. Deputies believe this man knows what happened to Father Rene Robert and will soon bring him back to St. Augustine for questioning. Still no trace tonight of Father Rene, who has not been seen or heard from since last Sunday afternoon.
Deputies say the only suspect is Steve Murray, though he has not been charged with the priest's disappearance. Murray apparently doesn't think the charges he does face will stick.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I mean, how can they say that was me?
We will show you more of Murray's court appearance in just a few minutes. Our coverage of this big local story begins tonight with Channel 4's Francesca Amaker. She is live in Fleming Island, where people came together to pray that Father Rene is still alive. Francesca.
And Joy, there were so many people out here tonight in Fleming Island. I mean, I saw hundreds of people heading into this church. Many of them, I asked them, did they have a gut feeling about his whereabouts? They didn't want to share, but they say they're praying that he's still alive.
Came to my birthday party. He would always visit Easter with us and Christmas, and I really knew him, and I got to know him as a person as well as a spiritual priest.
Only 15 years old and about 5'1", Elijah Bishop said he owed it to his friend and mentor to bring the community together. On Monday, when the teen learned his friend, Father Rene Robert, was missing, he says he remembered the power of prayer.
When I first got this news, I was in denial. I was in shock. I woke up out of bed 4 o'clock in the morning when my mom told me, and I just dropped to my knees, and all I could do was cry and pray.
And those prayers gave him the idea to put on this vigil, where other parishioners could comfort each other and pray for the priest's safe return. There, many spoke about Father Rene having a generous spirit, one filled with kindness and even a little humor.
He would go to the Annunciation Catholic School, and he entertained the kids, and my son loved him, remembered him by doing cartwheels, and so it was a fond memory, and he always wore sandals.
Though officials revealed they found the priest's car in Aiken, South Carolina, and have arrested a suspect in the case, many continue to pray for a safe return to the man who always had a joke and would give the shirt off of his back to anyone in need.
He lived the priesthood. He took it as it should be.
My gut feeling now, something tells me to be prepared for the worst, but to pray and hope for the best. And that's what I tell my mother, that's what I tell everybody, every one of my friends at school.
And you heard one of the parishioners say that he always wore sandals, so tomorrow they will be having a Sandals in the Street vigil. They're asking you to wear sandals and bring a candle. It will be at 6 p.m. at the Cross in St. Augustine. I'm live in Fleming Island. Francesca Amaker, Channel 4, the local station.
Well, we are waiting to learn when the suspect in Father Rene's disappearance will be extradited to St. Johns County. Last night, Stephen Murray was taken into custody in Aiken, South Carolina, after the U.S. Marshal's Office received a tip about where he was. This happened less than an hour after a car belonging to Father Rene was found there. Deputies say his car was involved in a high-speed chase Tuesday night and was driven by Stephen Murray. They say Murray ditched police and eventually crashed, abandoning the blue Toyota, leaving multiple weapons inside it. Murray faced a judge for the first time today, and Channel 4's Jim Piggott was there.
It was in the detention center here where Stephen Murray appeared in court, and it was very short, only a couple of minutes. He asked one question, why they thought it was him. The judge couldn't answer that. Stephen Murray appeared very nonchalant in court, even waving at our camera at one point. It took a few minutes for the judge to describe the procedure of extradition and the charges facing him. Those charges have nothing to do with Father Rene Robert's disappearance.
You are wanted out of St. John's, Florida for aggravated fleeing or attempting eluding high-speed reckless driving. They're requesting that you sign the waiver of extradition so that they can come pick you up and get this charge taken care of. Are you willing to sign?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I mean, how can they say that was me? I mean...
like I said, I don't know anything about your case. This is just the paperwork we have to do and the process we have to go through.
That's right.
You're going to sign it?
That's right.
Okay.
Murray was captured by deputies in Aiken, South Carolina last night, not far from the detention center. They spotted him driving Father Rene's car. He drove into a wooded area and took off running. Sandra Ford, who's also known as Charlie, says he actually came up to her house and knocked on their door.
It's
scary for me. Earlier on in the day, we seen where the cops were all around and they were hunting for this guy that had something about a missing priest. That's all I know. I seen it on TV and then I seen it on the internet, and helicopters were flying everywhere. And then I think it was like 12:15, maybe a little later last night, we got a knock on the door, and I was like, oh my God. But my husband, nobody ever bothers us around here. So my husband automatically went to the door to open the door, and I looked out. Something kept telling me, look out the window. I looked out this little window right here, and I seen him. And I was like, oh my God. I said, that is the guy that is on the news. I said, do not open that door. And he was telling us to let him in. And I told my husband, I said, do not let him in. So we called the cops, and the cops came down here, and that within 10 minutes they had him.
So detectives will have a number of questions for him since he is now considered a suspect in Father Robert's disappearance. Jim Pickett, Channel 4, the local station.
Tonight we're hearing from some of the people in our community who know the senior priest well and are praying he will be found safe. Kent is joining us with a message from a woman who was among the first to realize Father Rene was missing. Kent?
Yeah, Tom, known for his service in the Catholic community, certainly in St. Johns County for many years, Amy Law says that made Father Rene an easy choice for her family. They asked him to perform her grandfather's funeral, and then that set in motion her pleas to help find the missing priest.
He did not show up. We got concerned, started texting him, calling him, private Facebook messaging. His phone went straight to voicemail. We thought that was very odd. He would never not show up.
Amy Law says her family expected Father Rene Robert to do the prayer service for her 88-year-old grandfather Monday night.
Very sad, and we'd like answers.
The next morning, the priest didn't make it to the funeral home either, and a military chaplain had to step in.
Definitely had a sinking feeling. I mean, this was not Father Rene. He would not show up for an event, especially something like this.
They went to San Sebastian Church, where Father Rene was active, and told the pastor. He told the bishop and the sheriff's office. Since then, fears about what happened to Father Rene have grown. Father Tony Siebra is a senior priest with the diocese and a longtime friend of Father Rene's.
Very kind, very concerned, very interested in other people and helping other people.
Siebra says Father Rene's passion has been giving back, that he taught sign language at the School for the Deaf and Blind, went on mission trips, and ministered to those in trouble.
All of us are not professional counselors, but people do turn to priests for help. And we try to be good listeners. And I'd say Father Rene is a good listener. He listens to people.
Now, those who know the popular priest are asking for prayers and praying for answers, including Robert's sister, now headed from New York to Florida.
Do lots of prayers. Just keep talking to God and telling him, please bring Rene home.
Very difficult. You know, it's just unbelievable.
It is a tough time. It's kind of unbelievable. It's like a surreal thing that something like this would happen.
Amy Law, you heard from the story, says that her mother cuts Father Rene's hair, that she last saw him Thursday, a week ago, and that he was his happy, normal self. They say they had no warning anything like this could happen.